Seeing this certain type of content has been the norm for way too long. And frankly, I'm sick of it. I've been sick of it. Sick of feeling like my body doesn't look thin enough, small enough, and flat enough. Sick of food being seen as numbers or an object that will just make you fatter or skinnier. In my opinion, food can just be simply enjoyable. Hi, my name's Julia, and I try my best to speak about diet culture and recovery from a holistic, nourishing side, with love and acceptance, while I share my delicious vegan recipes and the duality of life.
10 out of 10. Hello there, my beautiful, beautiful friends. Welcome back to another video. Super grateful that you're here. As per always, I hope you're having a beautiful damn day, because you deserve it. And I do want to do a little trigger warning for this video, because I am counting my calories. However, I did eat intuitively. I just tried my best to track everything throughout this week, and then I calculated it once the week was done. That way I wasn't skewed whatsoever with how I was eating. I was just eating how I eat. Counting calories is honestly very unnatural to me. I don't enjoy it. I find it annoying and quite a nuisance to do. And unless you're tracking calories for a legitimate medical reason, I find it stems from an unnecessary obsession with food. There's so much more to food than the number of calories within that food or the macros. It is about overall nutrition, freshness, enjoyability, who you're having a meal with, culture. There's so much more to food than the number. So with that said, I hope you enjoy today's video and get some value out of it in some way or another. I love you all so very much, and I hope you enjoy today's video. Let's get into it.
So why are we so obsessed with calories? In my opinion, I really think it stems from the human need to be smarter than Mother Nature. We think that we can break down everything around us into numbers and math to understand it, but there are so many things that we don't understand about the world around us, including ourselves and how we even evolved in the way that we did to take in and be nourished by all of these things that are growing from the ground. Mother Nature is so freaking incredible, and you are a part of Mother Nature. So the next time you turn a package around and you are reading the calories and the nutritional index, remind yourself how beautiful it is that these ingredients even made it to your pantry, to your fridge, and how blessed you are to be able to just pick them up from a grocery store and make a delicious meal with them. We don't have to make food into this mathematical problem that we have to solve and calculate and add and subtract and weigh and measure. Your body is from Mother Nature. We don't fully understand it, but guess what? Mother Nature grows amazing fruits and vegetables that you get to consume, which is so incredibly smart and beautiful. And you are so incredibly smart and beautiful. Learning to trust yourself will help you connect with Mother Nature, your surroundings, the food that you're consuming, and hopefully allow you to see past all of these made-up beliefs that we have around food and just see it for what it is. Thank you so much, Catalina Crunch, for sponsoring today's video. I've been loving their products over the last few months, and so is Scott. Every time Scott comes over, he'll steal a bowl of Catalina Crunch or a couple cookies, and he cleared me out of my first order. So I'll share more about Catalina Crunch later on in the video. But on this particular evening, I had my women's circle, and I was just super rushed. It starts at 6:30 and it goes until 9:30, so I didn't really have time to make anything, just a bunch of snacks. So what's really making you think that you have to change your body? Is it pressure from the outside world, like your family or friends? Or maybe it's a boy that you don't think is going to like you until you're skinnier or prettier? Is it all of the picturesque people online? Well, it's probably an accumulation of all of it. It's the suggestion that you should look a certain way. Although some things may not be bluntly said, it's suggested to you that you need to be prettier, smaller, skinnier, have abs, have a bigger butt, all of these narratives that are suggested to be the beautiful thing. And I think that's where the internal battle comes from, is you're told to love your body, but then the suggestion to you is not anything like the body that you have. It's an unrealistic expectation of you to be something or do something or have this or that you don't. What's really beautiful about you is your consciousness, the weird organ inside of your head that makes you talk and think and connect with people and love people and have all of the feelings that you have. This is you. That's what you are, not this meat vessel body thing. So when you're feeling that comparison voice come in and take over your life, as sometimes it does, remind yourself how freaking cool it is that there's one of you in this entire world, and there will never, ever be another one of you, ever. These suggested expectations of you are not you, they'll never be you, and they shouldn't be you, because they're just these made-up narratives that the world has suggested to us. And guess what? You only got one life. Don't be controlled by that. Be controlled by the love inside of your heart, the kindness you have. And when it comes to food, the absolute enjoyability and nourishing aspect that food has. Not the number it has or the said goodness or badness this ingredient has on your body. Food can be nourishing and enjoyable. It's a beautiful thing when you find that balance between things that make you feel your best and bright and alive and the things that intrigue your taste buds. Like I said at the beginning, food is so much more than anything that diet culture has presented it to be. It's about culture and freedom and enjoyability and taste.
I have a very good feeling about this. I think we're gonna... I feel like this is just the new goal for granola. For granola. If you can do this at home, I think you're winning at life. Ah! Oh, that's good. Okay, so I really need a quick lunch today because I just have been on my computer and trying to work my hardest, but time has just really gotten away from me today and I am so hungry. I've honestly just been having a lot of comparison in my head today, and not so much the way that people look, but just the aesthetically pleasing lifestyle that people present online. I feel like I need to do all of this extra stuff to make a comfortable living online, yet I'm already making a comfortable living online. So I'm just like getting in my head like, do I need to have this thing or that thing to be more aesthetically pleasing and keep up with the trends online? And I'm just like, I just needed to be authentic and keep doing my authentic thing, and it just sucks that sometimes the authentic thing isn't always the trendy thing or the thing that's going to make you go viral. Salt, pepper, olive oil, sweet potato, tofu. Very simple. Chucking this in the oven. So honestly, it just feels really frustrating sometimes to feel like I'm not doing enough, even though I feel so overwhelmed with what I'm already doing. I'm at this crossroads where I'm like examining my life and where I'm putting my priorities, and I feel like I have been putting my priorities where they need to be, but not as much so as maybe I have in the past. And I just mean with work, yet I have so many more friends, so much more community, so much more activities that I'm loving, and I just feel so much more like connected to so many more people than I ever have in my whole freaking life. Yet it's quote unquote taking away from what I'm sharing on the internet. It's just frustrating to feel like I'm not doing enough, yet my life is just so much better.
It's a scary thing though about YouTube and the internet is you can just fall off. Like you will get forgotten about and people will move on from you, and there'll be a few people that you have impacted that will still think of you. But the greater numbers of people that are interested in your content will fade away because there's so many other people on the internet that are sharing whatever they're sharing. So I guess I'm just feeling a little bit out of alignment. Honestly, like, kind of hate making Instagram reels. Love long form content because I feel like I actually get to hang out with somebody and we get to connect, and there's a storyline and there's jokes and there's laughs and there's like an actual like sit down moment of enjoying a video versus sometimes 4 seconds that a video is that shows this picturesque moment of life, and then you just keep repeating that over and over and over and over and over again with this fast track content that's like all less than a minute long. So you get to hang out with 25 different people in like 20 minutes and see all of the picturesque moments that they have in their lives. And it's just so freaking overwhelming. And I guess I'm just struggling in knowing like what's trendy, what's catchy, and how to impact people still positively.
Now let's nourish the channel with our sponsor, Catalina Crunch. I absolutely love the simple, easy to read and understand ingredient lists, and the fact that their cereals and cookies have little to no sugar inside of them. And now I preach food freedom here, and I want to say sugar is not bad for you, but I do think we can all agree that sugar at certain times of the day and too much sugar in our diet is not the best or nourishing thing for our bodies. And that's where intuitive eating comes into play. I know that if I eat too much sugar before bed, I have a very hard time falling asleep. So ensuring that I'm listening to my body and the signals that it's giving me with the sweet tooth that it gives me, but also not consuming too much sugar before I fall asleep. That's where a bowl of Catalina Crunch cereal or a few cookies come into play. Now, my second favorite cookie, we'll get to the first in just a second, is the chocolate vanilla, a classic, something that reminds you of an Oreo. That's what this is, but with ingredients like chicory root fiber and pea protein. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they make it taste good, but they do. It's somehow they figure it out. They got the recipe down pat, and they make this cookie with all of the awesome ingredients that it has taste great. So my first favorite cookie is the chocolate mint. Yes, I am a sucker for anything chocolate mint, but these guys have won my heart. They have a beautiful, rich flavor to them, yet they snap. All the cookies have a beautiful snap when you bite into them, yet they melt in your mouth and aren't dry. And again, for something with like cassava flour in it, I don't know how they do it. But you can tap the link down in my description box and try them out for yourself. You can use my code JuliaAyres to get 15% off and free shipping. You can order a variety pack, and that's what I suggest doing at first, to try all the different flavors out for yourself, see what one's your favorite, and then from there you can order a 4-pack of your favorite flavor. Again, use the code JuliaAyres to get 15% off of your purchase and free shipping. Thank you so much to Catalina Crunch for sponsoring today's video. Now, Scott, stop eating all of my stuff, okay? This is a message just for you. Stop. They're mine. It's my cereal and they're my cookies. Okay, now let's get on with the video. Thanks. Despite all the craziness, sadness, trauma, pain, and anger that there is in this world, there is so much joy. There's so much joy, and you are adding joy to this world by being joyful about something that you have to do every single day, which is eat. And if you find joy in food, you are adding more joy into your life and into the world around you. And that's so amazing and special. So the next time you're having a hard time with your body image or food, ask yourself if there's one thing you can be grateful for in that moment, because I guarantee you there's so many more than just one. And it may feel corny, cheesy, unnatural to ask yourself if there's something to be grateful for. But my friend, there is. And you have the power to change the narrative around food and your body within yourself. It may feel like the world's responsibility, but you have to take control of your life for yourself.
All right, let's give her a taste test. I almost just choked on a piece of rice. We need a splash of rice vinegar and some more salt. It's so crazy how much just a little bit of acidity and a little bit more salt can do. Oh my god, that's so much better. Wow. Next time I will definitely add a lot more kimchi to it. It's just all I had in the house and I really wanted to use it up. That's so good. And it was a super fast meal as well. This did not take me very long at all. Oh, 10 out of 10.
Are you doing something because you actually find joy in it, or are you doing it because you think you have to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to fit in, or be perceived as a certain individual? I found myself doing a lot of things because I wanted to be perceived in the world as a particular type of person. And it wasn't always coming from my highest self, from love, from kindness. It was coming from not wanting to admit to myself who I actually was. It was easier to hide behind the socially acceptable narrative that I had created for myself than to admit that I actually had problems. Because the truth sucks. Admitting to yourself that you have a problem, that you're hurting, that you're struggling, that you don't like yourself, you don't like your body, and you don't like the life that you're living is a very difficult thing to do. We will always have struggles, we will always have pain, we will always have confusion in our lives because that's just the duality of life. But if you're constantly struggling, constantly feeling drained, out of touch with yourself, there is something wrong.
Oh, I didn't measure any of that.
For me, that was admitting that I had a problem with food that stemmed from a lack of self-love and respect. It was influenced by the narratives that I saw online and the people that I surrounded myself with. All of these things were going on in my own head until I dated a guy that wasn't so nice. He made many comments about my body, the way I lived my life, how I ate, and it was the first time that I had had these internal thoughts projected back at me from another person. It sent me into a downward negative spiral where I hit rock bottom. In this rock bottom, I found myself restricting more than I ever had in the past. I had this thought in my head that me only eating 1,000 calories a day would be the answer to make this guy love me. If I was skinnier, had a bigger butt and abs, that was how he was going to accept me, love me, and not play with my feelings any longer. Needless to say, that relationship did not work out. And although it was such a struggle, it taught me so much and made me realize how much of a problem I had with food to begin with. I viewed food as simply black or white, good or bad, and realizing that food is just this beautiful thing that I get to nourish my body with, and it tastes good and it's enjoyable. And yes, there are amazing nutrients within the things that I eat that fuel my body and make me feel amazing, but I can eat out of enjoyability, out of wanting to. And no particular food is going to make me fat or skinny. My hunger cues are there to assist me, and I can trust my body in knowing when it's full. And also, life is busy and not every meal can be perfect.
Because this is how you eat pasta in real life.
Waking up.
Nice. Ah! For calorie counting video, I keep on forgetting to count my calories.
In the context of food freedom and intuitive eating, we often hear the word balance, and no one ever talks about what that actually means. It's freaking confusing as all hell because there's a different definition to balance to every single life and every single body. You have a different life than me. You have different food interests than me. You crave different things than I do. So when you hear this word balance, don't think that it's this be-all, end-all definition of balance that applies to everyone. It's unique to you and your body. And balance when you're recovering from an eating disorder looks very different from when you're not. You're working on your mindset and how to view food. You're escaping the narratives that you've set upon yourself and the way that you think the world views you. The thought processes you have about yourself and on food affect the way your plate looks.
Oh. We're doing that game where it's like, which one has the cup switching?
Well, in this case, this is kind of obvious.
Yeah, there's nothing really to...
I still struggle with quote-unquote processed foods. I still have to remind myself that having some vegan butter on a piece of toast is not going to kill me or give me cancer or make me have a heart attack in 50 years. Too much of anything is not good for us. And moderation, again, is a term that we hear all of the time. In moderation. Well, that looks different for you than it does for me. I suggest including a bunch of different foods in your diet to see what foods make you feel your best and what foods don't. When we can recognize these things, we can eat intuitively, yet with freedom. I'm not going to not add a little bit of extra sugar into my hot chocolate so I can enjoy it more. Although sometimes too much sugar gives me a headache and doesn't always make me feel the best. I wasn't drinking 10 hot chocolates that day, so a teaspoon of extra sugar really wasn't going to hurt me. The next time you hear that little voice inside of your head telling you not to put something in your meal because it's not good for you or it's too many calories, remind yourself that that thought is coming from somewhere. Figuring out the root cause of where these thoughts are coming from is going to help heal you. We can't fix the problem until we know where the problem is coming from. Like I had mentioned, my problem was coming from a lack of self-worth and respect. And usually the cause is not linear. I was disrespecting myself in many other ways than just food. With the people that I was dating, having sex with, how I viewed the world to be working against me instead of with me, how I constantly made excuses for people's bad behaviors, and the negativity that I projected on the people around me as well.
This pasta's really good, but...
Yeah?
And you said too much tofu? I disagree.
You really?
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Oh, well, I guess I'm my own worst critic.
Yeah.
My favorite meal to go out for is Japanese food because I can't make it at home as good as they do. I'm just going to go to the professionals and get them to serve me the beauty that they have made. Seaweed salad, hand rolls, egg and nashi tofu, like it's just so much better when I don't try to do it myself. And there is no shame in going out to eat and enjoying awesome, handsome company and enjoying delicious food that you may not know exactly what's inside of it. I had absolutely no idea how many calories were in any of these things. But to limit myself in the enjoyment of my life because of some numbers, me trying to make food into math, well, that's just plain stupid to me. So, moral of the story of this video is enjoy your life, eat the foods that make you feel great, and these patterns of thought that you have are coming from somewhere. So let's dive deep and figure out how to heal. Sending you all so much love, and I'll see you again so very soon. Remember, Catalina Crunch is in the description, and you can get 15% off of your purchase along with free shipping. Have a beautiful rest of your day.